Hi everyone, welcome back to Witches, Dragons, and Drag Queens. My name is Natasha. This is part 2 of the scarf that I started making yesterday. This is another cozy video. We can just chill out. If you want to just listen to this video and you don't want to have to watch it per se, you can totally do that. That's fine. I'm just gonna be knitting away down here. You might be able to see that, you might not. I might change the camera angle at some point. Actually, I can just move myself back. Here we are. Here we are. Yeah, that works. I also, if you see me glance this way at all, I'm just keeping an eye on my list of topics I want to talk about today. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm gonna, first off, thing I want to talk about is some changes I made to the scarf itself. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a change in the stitching down here versus up here. I said in the last video that I was just going to do the whole thing in purl stitches with 2 knit stitches on each end. See how it's curling up like this? That the purl stitches are causing that, so I'm just doing an equal number of rows of knit stitch to help alleviate that issue. So it was 9 rows of purl, so I'm going to try it, and I have 3 rows of knit, so I'm going to do another 6 rows of knit, and then I'm gonna, probably after that, I think I'm just going to alternate purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit for most of the scarf. We'll see. I'm still kind of teaching myself loom knitting in general, so we will see how that goes. Try and keep it up here so y'all can see what I'm doing. So, in the last video, I didn't really cover exactly what this channel is going to be going forward and why I'm doing this now. I'm doing this now because better late than never to a certain extent, and also while working for the government, the Canadian federal government has afforded me a lot of amazing opportunities. It was never something that I really wanted to do with my entire rest of my life. I want to make things. I want to speak my mind. And this is something that I think I can do with YouTube and social media. And I've also just, oddly enough, loved social media, YouTube, etc. for years. Pretty much my entire adult life. YouTube existed, but it wasn't, YouTube existed when I was a teenager, but it didn't not as it does now, and it certainly wasn't something that one could do for a living. Other millennials out there, y'all know what YouTube, y'all remember what YouTube was like in, let's say, 2005 to 2012-ish. It was a wildly different place. So, what is going to be on this channel? A lot of crafting. I love making things. I love working with my hands. I'm a big fan of Rachel Maxey. And I thought if Rachel Maxey can be a fairly introverted person, I think it's fair to say, and also have 1 million subscribers eventually in time. It did take her quite a bit of time to get that number. Then I don't see why I can't. We're going to get crafting. We're going to, my plan is to upload once a week, every Saturday. I'm generally thinking Saturdays at noon, which hopefully you will have seen by now because this will be the second video to come out, I'm thinking. content will be a lot of crafting. I'll be doing makeup content. Once I figure out how I'm going to do makeup content, more so with the space that I have, access to, it's a little small. I tried to film a makeup video yesterday, actually, and it went not great. I still have a lot to learn about things like lighting. My content, for the most part, is not going to be educational. It will be more so, watch me do a thing while I talk about X. There will still continue to be some cozy content every now and then. I might not always be knitting while I make that cozy content, but I do want to continue just making things where I just sort of talk to the camera like this. Mostly an unstructured, talking about various topics and not really going super in depth on any one. Also going to be talking, also expect a fair bit of LARP content for the various LARPs that I still do, which is saying something after all these years. What exactly will LARP content look like? I'll have to talk with some of the people in the LARPs that I do, because I don't want to force people to be on camera who don't want to be. But also to show you guys like what this looks like in practice, and why it's cool, and why LARPing is cool, and why LARPers are cool, because we are. We are character creators and writers. A lot of us do a lot of the stuff that you'll see on this channel, and a lot better than I can do it. A lot of us sew. A lot of us do leather work. A lot of us do all these incredible things. We're not just nerds in your parents' basement. We're not just the nerds in your parents' basement. Some of us... Here, I'll post some pictures here of like what other LARPers do. Links for where I get those pictures from will be below if you want to follow any of those people. Another thing that will be coming down the pipeline, Patreon. Eventually, I want to build a following, and I want to get to the point where my goal is to build a following and get to the point where I can do this for a living. That is going to involve that's going to involve subscriptions. I don't currently know how exactly all that will work, what will be offered with a subscription. That will require a lot more thought and will be a pretty good ways off. It'll be a good ways off before I'm in a position where I actually can do this full-time as my sole source of income. But if you want to follow me on this crazy journey, the socials I have will be linked below. Subscribe, like, comment, share this video. So you can also follow me on Bluesky and Instagram and Facebook and my Facebook page, all of which linked below. Spoilers ahead for Friday the 13th Part 3. But also this movie is from 1982. In general, I'm not sure if the Friday the 13th series is really for me. I understand it has a lot of fans, and I can get why. It is iconic. I'm just more interested in character. Like, these movies are not very... For the most part, they're not very character-based, and I like more character-based stories. These movies are mostly kill-based. Mostly about the body count, which is fine. I know people enjoy that. It's just, I don't think that's really for me. I'm more of, in terms of the slasher movies I've seen that I enjoy, I liked the first Halloween more than I'm enjoying Friday the 13th. And I like I liked Nightmare on Elm. I really liked the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and I own that series, and I'm going to be getting into it. Probably going to watch part 2 of that tonight. That might be the final. When I finish this scarf, that'll hopefully be the first. That'll hopefully be what I talk about next week's video for this Cozy Scarf series. But in terms of there was some character focused things in this film, which kind of which felt kind of left me scratching my head a little bit. If you think I'm overthinking this movie, I probably am, but I really like to think about characters and why characters do the things they do in movies, and why a franchise includes characters and doesn't. And when I watched the second one, the ending of that movie, with the ending of the second one, I was like, wait a minute, what happened? Because in the very final moments of that film feature Jason attacking the final girl, Ginny, at night, grabbing her through a window, and then we literally cut to daytime, and she's being wheeled away in a stretcher into an ambulance, and she's asking, "Where's Paul?" And I was just like, "What? Not only where is Paul? What happened? How did you get away? Like, how are you alive right now? Like, what is going on?" I'm not sure if these questions will get answered in later movies. I kind of thought that. I was hoping that this movie would answer the question, because I would answer that question, but like, it didn't at all. Not only did they not explain, they left me with more questions. Because the intro of this movie has like just like the previous film, this film started with a chunk of important footage from the previous film, and then we get a lady with curlers in her hair watching the news, which summarizes that 8 people were killed in the previous film. And I did the mental math and was like, okay, Paul, like, these 8 kills don't include Paul. So is Paul still alive? Like, or what happened there? Like, don't spoil it for me. Don't tell me what happens, because I do think I will eventually finish this. I do think I will finish what is in my box set, because that's what I'm watching off of right now. I do think I will finish what's in my box set, but like, don't spoil it. No spoilers in the comments. If you spoil, I'm going to be so mad and I'm going to block you. But like, this didn't it just left me with that set of questions and more. But then we get into the actual meat and potatoes of this movie. And this movie not only starts a whole new a new storyline with an entirely new set of characters, but if you were to start watching this movie from the moment where the crew of main characters shows up in their van to pick up that one girl whose name I think is Vera, like, if you start watching the movie from that point, it might as well not be a Friday the 13th movie. Like, it might as well not be Jason. It could be any killer. The killer could be anyone, because it doesn't really have anything to do with anything that was been previously established. Which just left me with more moments of scratching my head, because like, so many, the iconic look of Jason Voorhees comes from this film. This is where we get the hockey mask. This is where his main weapon is the machete. This is where we get the outfit. That the design of Jason that is now so iconic comes from this film, that otherwise, from a story point perspective, doesn't really have anything to do with him. Which I thought was an interesting choice. Which is also very interesting because, like, they establish towards the end of the film, you find out that our final girl has encountered Jason before, like 2 years before. She had this encounter where he almost killed her, and then somehow she survived. And now here he is attacking her again, which I thought was an interesting idea. But if, like, I kind of felt like if that was based on the information that I currently have, if that's the direction they were going to go, why not have Ginny be the main character again? Like, why are we at, like, is, like, people that know this, like, franchise and this story better than me, I don't know if they said it in this movie or not. Is Higgins Haven? Higgins Haven is the name of the place where they're staying in the third movie, like, this, like, little ranch. I'm gonna call it a ranch for now. This little, like, cabin ranch. Cabin. I'll call it cabin. This little cabin they're staying is called Higgins Haven. Is Higgins Haven on Camp Crystal Lake? Does it, or, like, because I don't remember, I don't personally remember them saying that it was or it wasn't. And if it's not, what is Jason doing here? I was kind of like, why? I get how this is a slasher movie, but I was just like, I don't get how this is a Jason movie. I don't get how this is a Friday the 13th movie. Because the second one, part 2, they like, even when Jason, like, even before they know, oh wow, Jason is real, he's running around killing people, and all this stuff is going on, they're talking about Jason, they're talking about Pamela, the camp that those characters are trying to open is right next door to Camp Crystal Lake. Like, it's very much a continuation of the story. It feels very much like a continuation of the story. And this film, it kind of feels out of left field. Is that deliberate? At some point I'm gonna have to finish this DVD, this Blu-ray set. I'm gonna have to finish this Blu-ray set and, like, get these actual answers, because right now I'm a little confused. I'm open to being wrong about these things. Like, if I'm, like, way off, like, don't spoil it for me, but, like, if I am way off base, please let me know. I don't want to, like, yuck anyone's yum or anything. I'm not trying to yuck people's yums. Also, again, I am not a film critic. I am an internet person. Like, take my ramblings as you would from, like, talking about the movie with a friend. That's the way I intend for this stuff to be taken in. Oh, they were so damn proud of their 3D gimmick. They were, like, constantly, whatever they could have pointing at the camera or coming towards the camera in any way, constantly. Everything from broom handles to popcorn, just in your eyes. And it was just like, oh, wow. Broom handles to popcorn to eyeballs. Whatever they could get flying at the camera, they did. All right, here's where I'm at with my scarf. Hopefully that's a decent view of my stitches. I like my stitches so far. I'm proud of myself with that. I think also this is the first time, to the best of my knowledge, that the Friday the 13th series has included people of color. To the best of my knowledge. At least non-white passing people of color that I'm aware of. And, of course, those people were criminals. I really wish we could have gotten more from those characters other than just, we're here to... There's, like, 2 black people in this film. Their names are Fox and... I can't remember. That problem still persists within this movie as well. That, like, there's a ton of characters that you don't know who they are or why they're here, and you don't remember. And it's impossible to remember. That, like, don't contribute much and die. And I know that's a slasher thing. It's still, I don't like it. That are just kind of... Anyway. Fox, I thought, could have been really interesting. She could have been a really interesting character. I thought Gloria Charles, who played her, stunning. I thought she was gorgeous. I thought she was a gorgeous girl. But that's basically everything that I wanted to cover as far as Friday the 13th Part 3 is concerned. And I covered everything on my checklist, but I still have... This isn't exactly a scarf yet. I think before I film one of these, I'll watch Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and I'll watch Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and we will discuss both of those next time. I'll probably have much more things that I'm just plain wrong about. Again, when I'm wrong about these things in a movie, I'm open to like being corrected, but don't be all like armchair neckbeard. Well, I know better. Yeah, you're getting blocked. You do that, you get blocked. I'm not having that nonsense. Education is one thing, nastiness is another. What else can I talk about? Because I don't really want to just sit here in silence the whole dang time. I don't know. Suggest topic, like, and I know at some point I definitely want to, I think at some point I know I want to do a video of like my top 10 looks from season 6 of the Boulet Brothers Dragula. The Boulet Brothers Dragula season 6. Because, oh my god, season 6 was so dang good. The cast did an amazing job. The top 3 were stellar. I guess that's the thing I can talk about right now is my general feelings on the Boulet Brothers Dragula season 6. Again, cast did an amazing job. Spoilers for the Boulet Brothers Dragula season 6. Honestly, spoilers for reality TV in general with this one. I have never before seen in any show on Earth a raw chicken go flying across the room. Miss Desiree, you are iconic for that. If you see this, Desiree, I love you. That was amazing. Oh, apparently, the Boulets have also said on their podcast, Creatures of the Night, that we will actually get a reunion next season, whatever that season is. And another thing I want to do in the coming new year, hopefully in the new year, I can make my drag debut. Because it's something I've wanted to do for a terribly long time. But due to various factors, just haven't. So that will also be something you will definitely get videos on. Is me creating my first drag look. Well, for now, I think that is everything that I can really talk about. I'm going to work a little bit more on this, and then I will see y'all later when we get to the next part. Next time we're going to be discussing Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Follow me at all the socials linked below, and good night.